Hi everyone, my name is Danny. This review is for the movie called Dolittle. Man, this movie sucked. This is a 2020 film. It is rated PG. It runs an hour and 46 minutes. It's directed by Stephen Goggin. Stars Robert Downey Jr., which I'm sorry he's in this movie. It stars Antonio Banderas, which I'm sorry he's in this movie. And it stars Michael Sheen. The description is Robert Downey Jr. electrifies one of literature's most enduring characters in a vivid reimagining of the classic tale of the man who could talk to animals, Dolittle. After losing his wife 7 years earlier, the eccentric Dr. John Dolittle, famed doctor and veterinarian of Queen Victoria's England, hermits himself away behind the high walls of Dolittle Manor with only his menagerie of exotic animals for company. But when the young queen falls gravely ill, a reluctant Dolittle is forced to set sail on an epic adventure to a mythical island in search of a cure, regaining his wit and courage as he crosses old adversaries and discovers wondrous creatures. The doctor is joined on his quest by a young, self appointed apprentice and a raucous coterie of animal friends, including an anxious gorilla, an enthusiastic but bird-brained duck, an anx- an, a bickering duo of a cynical ostrich, and an upbeat polar bear, and a headstrong parrot, who serves as Doolittle's most trusted advisor and confidant. There you go. Long description, a lot of talking, a lot of explaining things. I'll break it down and kind of summarize it for you, but this is Dolittle. Alright, everybody. If you have not seen Dr. Dolittle and Dr. Dolittle 2, please go see them. There's so much more founded than this garbage that I just watched. I just came from the theater like a couple hours ago, and I'm still upset about this. Like, why do we have to ruin original movies? The kids growing up today are going to go see this garbage that we're putting out now, and they're going to think it's amazing when it doesn't stand up at all whatsoever to the original stuff. It really does make me sick. It really does. And I'm sorry that Robert Downey Jr. had to put out this because any Joe Schmo could have made this garbage and we'd call it garbage. But now that Robert Downey Jr. and Antonio Banderas are in it, people are actually going to think this movie's good, which is ridiculous. So, rant over, review started. Here we go. So this movie is based in some kind of fictional land, and I can't explain it to you, but it's in its own little world. It's almost like Alice in Wonderland, kind of. That's the easiest way I can explain it to you, is that they're in their own world, they're in their own universe, they play by their own rules, nothing makes sense. You're sitting there questioning things the whole time. The biggest thing that gets on my nerves from the original, and yes, I'm going to say this because it goes by the name Dolittle, and we've had Dr. Dolittle, so I have to compare the two, okay? Is that Dr. Dolittle always started off, at least started the first movie, where he wasn't able to talk to animals. And then it turned out he could. And then everybody spoke English to each other, and then we heard the animals bark or make their animal noises when anybody else was around. Kind of like Toy Story. And that makes sense, right? Well, in this movie, for some reason, everybody's able to talk to everybody. He talks in animal noises when everybody's not paying attention. I don't know. I didn't get it. It was the weirdest thing ever. And then at the end, he talks English to this insect, but other animals he has to talk in some animal language. It's the weirdest thing. Nothing makes sense. Nothing gets explained. They just play by their own rules, and we have to accept it. That's my first thing that really got on my nerves. The second thing that got on my nerves is that this movie, like, people were laughing at it, and like I was just sitting there wondering what they were laughing at because I didn't laugh like once. And honestly, it had to resort to fart jokes and to other like slapstick kind of stuff to entertain people. And if you're entertained by it, you're honestly, I think it was mostly pity laughs because nothing else was funny, nothing else was interesting, and then all of a sudden somebody hits somebody or somebody calls somebody a name, and you just feel like you have to laugh at something, you know. So that's my explanation of the comedy is that there is none, and when they try to be funny, I feel like people laugh instinctively because they think this is going to be some big great comedy thing. So that's my opinion of that. Everything else is just the movie not making sense. The way the actors are talking to each other is so stale. No emotion, no reasoning with each other, no trying to understand what that person's saying and then react. They're just like going through the motions. This kid that's the apprentice, he's completely useless. He's just along for the ride. And because he likes this other little girl, that's literally the only reason why he's around. And, you know, I'm sorry, but I don't know what's going on with Robert Downey Jr. in this. Is he trying to be Johnny Depp with the light voice, acting like he's out of his mind half the time? I like, what is going on? Why can we not talk, normal? And then, like, honestly, the premise of the movie, like, where does it get explained that he's a doctor? Just all of a sudden, he's doctor, even though it doesn't call it Dr. Dolittle. I don't understand. So, this movie has so many problems. It shouldn't have probably been made, but I hate to say that because people want to make these big, fantastic adventures, and honestly, anybody under the age of probably 12 is not going to care about the problems with the movie. And that's where things hurt for me because I realize how bad this is. A lot of people out there are going to understand how bad this is, but kids are going to kind of enjoy it. And that's tough for me. So, where do we go from here? The conversations, the things that they just put in here and they have no explanation for, is just awful. I was just sitting there like, man, this is torture. Just the way they were talking to each other, the ending. I have to say this. I'm sorry. I just have to say this. But the ending, this queen is sick and she gets better. Okay? I'll keep it simple. Okay? She gets better. And the second she's better, she's like, everybody out of my room, please. I'm like, what? Woman, you just, for a whole movie, you were on your deathbed and you're like talking nicely to people like it's going to be the end of your life. And then all of a sudden, you just get to be the worst person ever. It was the weirdest thing. And that's like just the example for this movie is people are talking to each other rudely and then all of a sudden they just kind of brush it off like it's nothing, or they'll say oh, this, and then, oh, let's do that, and it's just nonstop, and it's so annoying. It's redundant and ridiculous, and it's just honestly really, really bad. I have seen a couple bad movies already here in 2020, and we're not that far into the month. But I am going to put this on my worst of for the year, and I'm going to give it my lowest grade of a D, and I just don't understand anybody. Like, I can understand why people would like this because it's a big idea, big scenes, big colors, the animals talk. There are reasons why people could enjoy this, but for us adults, like, man, this is really torture is the right word. So I'm going to give a D to Dolittle. Thanks a lot, guys. My name's Danny. If you like this or any of my other videos, try and get some of them watched. Like and subscribe to my channel. This is my 499th review on YouTube. So my next one is my 500th. I'm kind of on the fence if I want to watch the one of the ones I have to watch, or if I'm gonna wait till next week in theater. I'll see what's coming out, but kind of want my 500 to be kind of special, and I know it will be. And I just want to thank everybody over and over and over again for watching any of my videos. Sorry, my one before here is kind of for a bad movie, but uh, I just have enjoyed this so much. I've had so many videos, have so many views. I've enjoyed doing my best of the year and worst of the year. I keep all kinds of records, and this has really turned into a great hobby for me. And the exposure I've got a couple people that are in movies comment on my videos, and that's really amazing for me. I mean, just a humble person, you know, and I just I appreciate everything. I appreciate everybody watching my videos. You know, whether it be 5 or 500, it's really amazing for me. So thank you, thank you, thank you. Try and stay away from Dolittle, but keep watching my videos. Thank you for the support, and we'll see you on the 500th video. Thanks, guys.